Hello, everybody. This is Matthew from Technology, and this week in tech, we're going to talk about Google Meet and the best way to create a link so you keep control of the room. We're going to talk about Google Grid so you can see all those nice faces of your students. And we're going to talk about Google Jamboard, a multi user online live interface whiteboard that is made by Google, and a few other reminders. So stay tuned. Hello, everybody. Hey, let's talk about PowerSchool for a little bit. Your E2 has been removed. This is mainly for the junior high and high school for the final exam. So now your Q3, Q4 will just be 50% of the grade. It will automatically update your gradebook and on the parent portal on the students. So you will not have to do anything in your gradebook at all. The other quick reminder I have is make sure that you are checking the SMART system to make sure that the students, if you're going to post on social media or Twitter or any of those other accounts, that you have permission to do so. There are a few students on there that their parents do not want to have their picture and information on there.
Hey, all. Hey, there's been a question on Google Meet of how I keep control of my room. And there's different ways of creating the link. You can do it through calendars. You can create it through making a room name. But after contacting Google, they say the best way to create a link so you always keep control of that room is so when you click join or start the meeting here, we told you to actually put a room name in there. Don't do that. Just keep the room name blank and then go ahead and just click continue. And what you'll want to do is that Google Meet link that's in there when you click join shows up right when you go from here. You want to copy that and put that into your classroom. That will make sure you keep control of the Meet room, and then none of the students will get control of it by accidentally going in or out. That way it always works the way it's supposed to. If you forget where that meeting detail is, again, you can always go down to the left-hand corner here, and if this bar isn't showing, just left-click your mouse, and that will show this meeting details. You click that little arrow, and that's going to have this link in there. Again, just copy and paste that into your Canvas, and you should be good to go. Hello all. I'm going to talk a little bit about Google Grid View, which was an extension that Sue Gremmelsbacher found. It's a really good extension that shows the whole class all at once, so it's easier for you to be able to see the reaction of the students, or maybe they're going to raise their hand and be able to see that while you're explaining something while you're doing this. You're going to notice up in the left-hand corner, right-hand corner, you're going to see this little drop-down that's going to allow you to be able to enable Grid View. A couple of options here: only show participants with video. I like to show everybody just so we can see how many people are in there. You can highlight speakers, so it'll be in green when they're talking. You can include yourself in the grid, enable grid view by default, so that way when you go into the room, it will automatically enable that by default. There's also another option in here that's called enable screen capture mode, which allows you to be able to remove names. So if you are recording and you wanted to give this recording out to somebody else, it would remove their name from the list itself. And I'm going to go ahead and enable that. And then to enable the actual screen grid view, I'm just going to click on the little square up here. You're going to notice it changes now from little square with a line through it to just a regular square. You're going to notice everybody in my class here. I've got Groot over here, and I've got Tiny Superman. Now we can see everybody all at once, but there is no names on the screen. So when we're recording, we don't see those names. A couple of things about Grid View that you want to make sure you understand is that Grid View only changes on your side. It does not change it on the student side. So if you switch to Grid View, it's not going to switch it for them. It's only going to switch it for your view. So just be aware of that. You can turn it off and on Grid View by just clicking the Grid View. The other thing to be aware of is that Google did release a new layout for theirs called Tiled, but there is one downfall to theirs. If you go to Change Layout and you go to Tiled mode, it will only show 16 people in the classroom, where the extension shows everybody that's in your classroom. I don't know too many of you who have 16 or less students in your classroom. If you do, good for you. but most classes don't have less than 16 in there. So Google Grid View allows you to be able to see everybody in there. If you have any questions, again, just put in a tech ticket or give us a call at 626-3030. Thanks. Hey, let's talk about Google Jamboard. So Google Jamboard is a multi-user whiteboard interface that allows you to be able to communicate back and forth without actually having to start up video and audio if you need be. Most of the time, you probably already have it if you're on a Google Meet, but it's a nice way so you don't have to switch between screens. So in Google Meet, if you want to present something, you're just going to present it out, but they can't really take over what you're doing. So this would be great in an instance where you're trying to help a student maybe with a math problem or a chemistry problem, or just trying to see what they're seeing on their homework, where you're trying to see what's going on. How we get to Google Jamboard is, again, we've added a link on the faculty page as well as the student apps page, and it's called Google Jamboard. You'll just click it. It will ask you to log in with your Google account. Just go ahead and log in with it, and you should be fine. If you want to add a new Jamboard, yours is probably going to be blank. You just click this little jam in the right-hand corner here. It's got the little plus. It'll just create one for you, and then you'll be off and running. I'm going to use one of them that I've already got over here. And we're going to go here to our thinking board. Again, I've already shared this out. So the share settings with Google Jamboard is exactly the same way as if you're sharing a Google Doc or a Google Sheet. You can go up in the right-hand corner, click share, type in the student's name. I could say I want to share it out with John Bibby, and then I could say edit or view right. So maybe I just want to show and just have Bibby see what I'm doing, or maybe I wanted to be able to interact with the board itself, so I can hit edit too as well. So that's exactly the same. Nothing new there. Nothing you have to relearn. It's the exact same thing. On the left over here, you have some tools. Again, those are the things you've used before, so nothing really new. There is a pen tool. There's the marker tool, the highlighter, and then there's also the brush tool. You can get some different colors too as well. So maybe you want the student to be in red, or maybe they want them to be in black, and you're going to go in yellow or red or green so they can see what you're doing. Again, the eraser tool is the next option on here. A pointer tool, so if you had some kind of image on there, you could use the pointer tool to move that around. So that way, once it puts on there, you can actually just move that image around and put the information that's in there. This does kind of replace a little bit the whiteboard app that we have on there, and it's nice and cleaner because it saves it on the fly and it saves it inside Google. So you don't have to worry about saving the boards for later, and you can do that too as well. The next item on here is a sticky note. So if you wanted to add a sticky note to this, you could add something on there. Here's a sticky note. I'm going to save it on there, and then you'll be able to see the sticky note right there. You can put that on there on the board itself. You can rotate it, all that kind of fun stuff. You can add images to it. So you can add images from Google Drive, or you can upload them. You can also just copy and paste. So if you could take a snip of a page, like we've used the snipping tool before. You could also just copy and paste an image in there too as well. Pointer tool, that's just a laser pointer tool. So it just kind of goes away after a while. So if I want to say point something out that I'm using the Jamboard, I can do that. But let's say I have someone in here. I've already shared it out. You can get your pen tool, and I can select the color I want. So I'm going to choose blue, get my blue pen tool out, I can flip my laptop around if I want to, and then I can write whatever I want. I could say 2 plus 2, my handwriting is horrible, is equal to what? And then our student, who I've already shared it out to, could already have it by default. It's got a black color in there. They could do 6. The student can go in here and go, well, here's my problem. And if you can see where the student's writing versus when you're writing. They could do a 4 plus 6 equals 9. And you could be like, oops, that's not right. So that's Jamboard. A couple other options you can do on here. Again, you can clear the frame, so you can clear it completely off. The other thing is they do have a few background options that are on here. So you could do a dotted background if you wanted to. If you math, science people, you could do a grid. option on here. You can do a grid with a darker color on it. You can do a colored blue background, black background. So those are another options. You can also zoom in or out. So you could zoom in. So if you want to do 200%, you could. Or if you want to just fit it. Sometimes it's easier when you're trying to look at a problem. Maybe sometimes you want to zoom in. So that way it's easier to see for the student and for you. So you can go in here and zoom in. And so that'll make it easier. And then you can just write your answer right there. And that's Google Jamboard. Remember, if you have any questions, feel free to put in a tech ticket or call us at 626-3030. Thanks.